Birth interventions are medical procedures or treatments that find, prevent, or fix problems. Some of the most common interventions used during labor are IV lines for fluids, epidural anesthesia, episiotomies, continuous fetal heart monitoring, and speeding up labor artificially with the use of Pitocin or by breaking the bag of waters. Interventions are sometimes necessary and beneficial during labor and can be life-saving. However, some hospitals and care providers have tendencies or rules that can lead to interventions regardless of a woman's individual situation. Interventions are accompanied by risks, and many of them can disrupt the labor and birth process. It's best to only use interventions when you and your healthcare provider agree that the benefits are likely to outweigh the possible risks, and when less invasive alternatives aren't likely to be effective. Research shows that using interventions routinely when they're unlikely to be beneficial can make labor more difficult and less safe. Most common interventions have effective and less invasive alternatives. For example, eating and drinking during labor can reduce the likelihood of needing an IV line for hydration and nutrients. If your labor isn't high risk and your baby isn't showing signs of distress, you can request intermittent fetal monitoring instead of continuous electronic fetal monitoring. Intermittent monitoring allows you to change positions to reduce pain and help your labor progress. Movement can help labor progress naturally and can prevent the need to speed up your labor by artificial means, such as breaking the bag of waters or using Pitocin. These artificial methods can have undesirable side effects and increase the risk of needing more medical interventions. For pain relief, there are drug-free methods you can use instead of epidurals, such as soaking in a tub, massage, and breathing and relaxation techniques. It's important to talk about these common labor interventions and alternatives with your healthcare provider well before your birth. If he or she tends to use or favor an intervention, your risk of having that intervention is significantly increased. Knowing how often and why a provider uses different interventions will help you choose a caregiver who supports your birth preferences. If an intervention is suggested during labor, consider your options carefully and ask questions about the risks and alternatives that are associated with that procedure.
I didn't want anything pushed upon me. And even though there were things that were contrary to what I wanted, they were discussed, and why they were a good idea was discussed thoroughly, and so nothing was pushed upon me, and I felt that I was an active participant all along, so that was very important to me.
For more information, visit our website at mothersadvocate.org.